Assalamu alaikum dear viewers. This is Shameem from SRM American Higher Secondary School, Sopur. Today we are to talk on phrasal verbs. This very topic I have opted for classes 8 and 9. So friends, what are phrasal verbs? The first thing, the term phrasal verb indicates it's a phrase, but a phrasal verb is quite different from a common phrase. When we talk of a phrase, it is simply a collection, a group, or a set of words. Suppose a beautiful flower, a nice person, a tall man. But when we talk of a phrasal verb, it's also a set of words, but it features differently, as it is formed of a verb in collaboration with an adverb or a preposition. Before I dive into examples to make you understand what phrasal verbs are, let me briefly explain what phrasal verbs do mean. Phrasal verbs consist of 2 or 3 words. So it can be a set of either 2 words or of 3 words. The first word is a verb and it is followed by an adverb or a preposition, or sometimes both by an adverb or a preposition. But here is a condition. In this very set of words, the first word has to be a verb. In all cases, the first word has to be a verb. And it is either followed by an adverb sometimes and sometimes by a preposition. Or sometimes both these two particles, the particle of an adverb and the particle of a preposition, help to form a phrasal verb. These phrasal verbs, they are also termed to be as multi-word verbs. Multi means several, more than one. So these phrasal verbs, they are made of several words, made of adverbs, made of verbs, made of prepositions. The adverbs and prepositions in a phrasal verb are called particles. You know very well, in science you might have done this. You know very well, particles help to form an atom or a molecule, whatever is there in science. Here, these particles, what are those particles here? Adverbs and prepositions help to form the atom of phrasal verbs. They help to form the building of a phrasal verb. Let's take some examples. Setup. Setup, it's a phrasal verb. It's a set of 2 words here. Setup means to establish. And you remember one thing, phrasal verbs bear figurative, idiomatic meanings. John set up an office. Set up. Set is verb, up is here a preposition. But the question arises here, up is also an adverb. But you know very well, a preposition is always followed by a noun or a pronoun or a noun phrase. So is here. John set up an office. Up, it is followed by a noun, office. So it is preposition here. Preposition literally means placed before, positioned before. Before what? Before a noun or a pronoun. Preposition. Before, position, placed. Placed before. Before what? Before a noun or a pronoun. Next example. Woke up, again we have up here. Woke up, it's the past of wake up, which means came out of bed. So this is usual with us. When we wake up in the morning, we come out of bed. John woke up late today. Woke up is here phrasal verb, woke is verb, up is not here a preposition but an adverb because it is not followed by a noun or pronoun. Turn down means to reject, to dismiss. The judge turned down the appeal of the convict. So down is the preposition and turn is verb. We have one more example. He lay down and slept. Lay down is phrasal verb. Lay is verb. Down is again used here, but down is not preposition here because it's not followed by a noun or a pronoun. So it is adverb here. Next example, put off. Put off is also a phrasal verb, which means to delay, to postpone. The government put off the classwork due to COVID-19 pandemic. So we have seen the examples of phrasal verbs in 2 words. Now we are introduced with a set of 3 words here. A phrasal verb of 3 words. Put up with, which means to tolerate, to bear. I can't put up with his ill behavior. Put up with. Put is verb. Up is adverb. With is preposition. Get away with. Again, a set of 3 words. First word, get. Let's see the example. Politicians get away with doing illegal things. Get verb, away adverb with preposition. These phrasal verbs, they are sometimes separable, sometimes inseparable. Separable means when they are separated, and inseparable when they are not separated. Generally, these are separated by inserting pronouns in them. Suppose we have here an example. Brought up. Brought up is both separable and inseparable. Let's see the first example. Abid brought up the matter. Brought up is here phrasal verb. It is inseparable. We have one more example of the same phrasal verb. Abid brought it up. Abid brought it up. Brought up, it has been divided. We have inserted in between these 2 words pronoun it. So this got separated there. So this very phrasal verb, brought up, it is both separable and inseparable. Next example, look up to, which means to admire, to respect. If we put it this way, to look someone up to, it's wrong. You can never insert a pronoun in this very phrasal verb to divide it. We can never say to look someone up to. Someone is what? Someone is a pronoun, an indefinite pronoun. It's wrong. Nor you can say to look up someone to. This again wrong. To look up someone to, it's wrong. It stands as it is. So this very phrasal verb is inseparable. This can't be separated. As in the example it is given there, I always look up to your father. Look up to your father. Look up to means to respect, to admire. I always look up to you. I always respect your father. But this is an inseparable phrasal verb. One more important thing that I would like to discuss with you about these phrasal verbs. Phrasal verbs can be transitive and they can be intransitive also. Before going to this, I would just briefly explain, though this is not my topic, transitive and intransitive verbs, but somehow I would explain it. When we talk of transitive verbs, a transitive verb always requires an object and it answers to what or whom. Third point, it's only a transitive verb that can be changed, that can be converted into a passive voice. Suppose, she wrote a letter. This can be changed into a passive voice. It is an active voice. This can be changed into a passive voice. A letter was written by her. So, it answers to what? One more example. He helped me. I was helped by him. So it answers to whom. So this transitive verb, it answers to what or whom. While talking of an intransitive verb, this is never changed into a passive voice. Suppose if I say, I went to school. It answers to where, not to what or not to whom. This is never changed like this way. School was gone by me. This is wrong. So only when it answers to what or whom, this is changed into passive voice. I have some examples here. Came over, which means step in or visit. We have an example here. Why don't you come over here? Come over is a phrasal verb. Come verb over is an adverb here. Next, a wave of anger came over him. A wave of anger came over him. This is a transitive verb. Came over, in the first one it is intransitive there, in the second one it is transitive. So a phrasal verb can be a transitive or it can be an intransitive verb. Here is an assignment for my dear students, for my dear learners. I want you all to have a drill on these phrasal verbs. This is all for today. Have a great day. Stay home, stay safe. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum.